So welcome back everyone, Mike here. It is another warm one here in western Pennsylvania, but that's not going to stop us from cutting a little firewood this evening. And while doing so, we're going to find out just how long a battery will last on a battery powered chainsaw. The saw that we're going to be using today is the Stihl MSA 220C. The battery is fully charged, and that's the Stihl AP300S. Now I have a pile of cherry logs here. There's just, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Various sizes. They probably average about 10 inches. Few a little bit bigger, few a little bit smaller. I kind of doubt we'll get through this whole pile on one battery, but who knows? We'll find out here in just a bit. And this is going to be a best case scenario test. And what I mean is we have a pile of logs here. We're not going to be doing any limbing, clearing brush out of the way, anything like that. We're just going to find out how much wood in a best case scenario you can cut on one AP300S battery. Also, to make it even easier, we have this excavator sitting here, which is leaving here shortly. But while it's here, I'll reach over, grab a log, swing it over here out of the way a little bit. It'll be up off the ground. I won't be getting into the dirt or anything like that. It'll be a really good test, but like I said, best case scenario. A couple of these logs have quite a bit of dirt on them. I'll try to do those ones last. I sharpened the chain on it. Everything's good. Now, I must say before I get started, when they started coming out with battery-powered chainsaws, I was very skeptical. Never in a million years would I ever have considered using one. However, that opinion has changed since I got my hands on one. Now, these aren't for everybody, don't get me wrong. Like, we cut a lot of firewood here. We cut logs for the sawmill. I mean, like the MS462, the MS261, I use those all the time. But a saw like this, I think for a lot of people will be very, very handy. A lot of people, you're just cutting wood for your fire ring. Maybe you have a fireplace in your house, storm cleanup, keep it in your truck. I mean, a great saw for that. I wouldn't suggest getting one of these if you're going to cut, 20 cords of firewood a year. But for occasional use and beyond, I think these are fantastic. And you're going to see here in just a bit. Okay, that one on top there, it's got a lot of dirt on it. I'll set that one off to the side first. We'll cut that one up last. That one got away from me. Looks like a good one to get started with there. All right, this first one here, it is 10 inches at the big end, about 8 inches at this end. This is cherry, by the way. Well, we know it'll cut 3 pieces. Alright, I don't know if you can see this or not. We're about half battery left. Alright, battery's down to 1 bar. Definitely getting there. That is it, friends. This one here is pretty good size. 11 inches. Cherry. Isn't that nice? Well, there you have it. That's a pretty good jag of wood there out of one battery. Like I said, this stuff ranges from 8 to probably 12 inches in diameter. If you're cutting 6-inch stuff, you'd probably make a lot more cuts. Probably about the same amount of wood though at the end of the day. And but yeah, that's the Stihl MSA 220C with the AP 300S battery. 16-inch bar on it. I'm impressed. You know, that's one battery. You know, one thing I'm curious about though, I always wondered, I never checked to see how far down the bar oil is compared to, you know, running a full battery out. Trying to hold this in the camera here, bear with me. Yeah, the bar oil, it appears to be about halfway down. So don't quote me on that, but to me it's looking like one full battery charge, half a tank of bar oil. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. That's something you have to remember on these battery saws. You know, with the gas saw, you always fill the bar oil when you fill it up with gas. These, you could have the tendency to forget your bar oil. But yeah, I think that's about right. One battery, half a tank of bar oil. At least that's what it looks like there. Now, if you're going out on a Saturday morning, you know, to a big tract of land and you're planning on cutting wood all day, you're definitely not going to take a battery saw. If you are, you're going to need a whole bunch of batteries. However, You know, if you're like me, you're at work all day, you come home, you want to head out in the woods and get a little something done. That's a pretty nice jag of wood right there for one battery in the saw. That's probably at least a load and a half in the back of the Ranger, maybe even 2 loads. That's quite a bit of wood right there. I just checked after it sat for a minute. See, now it won't run. It actually had a little bit left in it. Yeah, and the thing about this is it doesn't slow down as the battery gets weaker. It runs full speed and then it just quits. But yeah, to kind of go over what we talked about here, I don't think these saws are for everybody, but I think they're for a lot of people. I really do. A lot of people don't cut a whole lot of firewood, and even to keep this in your truck. You know, you're going to camp, you could throw the Charger in there too, but you could take this up, trees down across the road. You know, if you got trails on your property, keep one in the side-by-side, or if you're just cutting firewood for your fire pit or your fireplace or whatever. I do think a lot of people, this would be a good option. I do. But anyway, now we know how much wood you can cut with one of these on one battery. So, like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks.